All right, so welcome to our gut protocol prep call. We are getting ready to start gut protocol tomorrow. I am so excited that you guys are here, that you showed up this morning, especially to be here with me, and that you're going to go on this journey. This program for me, when I did it last time, I'm going to be 100% honest. I stuck with it for 3 solid weeks, and then Easter came. And I'm not going to lie, I fell off the horse and I kind of tossed out the window, which is why I really wanted to do this second round and why I've decided to jump all in with you guys and do it again and truly see what I can do. Um, I hope that I'm a lesson to you, though, that it's okay if you're not perfect on this journey. That's okay. And it's not reason to throw in the towel. It's okay to start again. It's okay to start fresh. It's okay to give yourself some grace as we go through this. And it's okay if you choose to navigate it at 80% or 90% or 70%, like whatever you feel you want to get out of this program. But I do really want to encourage you right now, first, before we get started, to think about your why. This program is not like the other Beachbody programs. It really is more in depth with regards to the nutrition side of it, to how it's going to make you feel. And so I really want you to take a moment to reflect on why you want to do this program and what you hope to get out of it. So let's just take a mindful moment and if you have like paper and pen, jot down why this program means so much to you. And if you feel like sharing it in the chat, by all means, we are all in this together. You are more than welcome to share it in the chat, but you don't have to. Awesome. Oh, thanks for sharing, guys. Broad spectrum to feel good inside and out. That no more skin irritations, no more bloating, and to lose the COVID weight. Yes. I'm not gonna lie. I lost 6 pounds in the like 3 weeks that I did this, probably in the first 2 weeks. And I think a lot of that. So if you have like weight loss goals with this, a lot of it really did come down to, I think, my consciousness of the carbohydrates and sugar that I was eating, and then the increase in veggies as well. Um, yeah, absolutely, Kirsten. I'm sure it will too. A lot of the women that have done it already are really talking about, and especially if you notice that you have food sensitivities. And like that's what Autumn talks about, right? Is that like 70% of Americans have food sensitivities that they don't even know about, which a lot of people in our test group and a lot of people that did the first round, that's really what they discovered through this journey. So focus on that why. You know what? I'm not going to lie. When I first started doing Beachbody programs too, I was that crazy person that had Post-it notes all around my house. And I want to give you permission to do what you need to do to keep your goals and to keep your why front of mind. So if that means having a sticky note on the fridge, if that means having a sticky note on your bathroom mirror to remind you every morning when you wake up what your goal is and how you want to feel, something that helps to keep it front of mind and continue to remind yourself of why you're here. The other thing I want to encourage you is that this is not about being perfect. Absolutely. No one is going to get an award at the end of this. No one's going to get a first place prize. The prize is going to be how you feel. And if you notice yourself slacking, the reason we are here together, the reason that this is what I do for a living and why we have these accountability groups is to help you not only when you're succeeding, but especially when you feel like you're not. So there's a little something that I call turtling, where you start to kind of like slink away and get really quiet in the chat pod, maybe turn off the notifications, maybe silence it away, because you know deep down that you haven't been doing this program to the ability that you want to. And maybe you get into the comparison game and you start comparing yourself and you start to feel bad about it. Don't allow that to happen to you during this program. Lean in, don't lean out. Okay. So if you're struggling, the greatest thing, and I know it takes a lot of courage and vulnerability, but the greatest thing you can do is to reach out to the community and to reach out to your accountability partner, reach out to me, send us a message. Don't turtle and disappear. And then in 4 weeks' time, wish that you had have maybe spoken up. Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? Like, feel free to start over anytime you need to. Like, don't wait for Monday either. That's almost the biggest thing that can really derail people, is not waiting until like Monday to start over. So your biggest things in this program, I'm not going to lie, is your ability to be prepared. So I shared that link from the Confessions of the Fit Foodie, which I love her website. She's got a lot of really great stuff for Beachbody. Honestly, Pinterest is going to be your best friend, I think, with regards to recipes and meal plans. There are some recipes on Beachbody that I'm going to show you in Gut Protocol if you haven't already found them. Not a ton, though. And especially for me, because I wasn't eating meat during this program. I don't know if anyone else is doing the vegan plan, but if you are, hit me up for recipe ideas too. And I'll share some in here because she does recommend, like being mindful of eating those red A's and red B's, right? So red A's are going to be like your meat proteins, and red B's, I think that's right. Yeah. And then red B's are going to be your plant-based proteins. So she does encourage you to eat some plant-based meals. So when you want to venture out and do a meal without meat, Pinterest, like I said in our chat the other day, literally Googling like vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free recipes, or well, vegan is going to be dairy-free anyway, but gluten-free as well. And like I said, too, finding ways to substitute. So use your kind of common sense, right? Like, it doesn't have to be a fixate recipe. It doesn't have to be a Beachbody recipe. You can use your mindfulness. You can use your containers or the equivalents. You guys know, you can also Google, if you don't have the containers, you can Google what the containers are, like the 21-day fix container, or you can message me and I can share with you. But like your vegetable serving, for example, is a cup. So if you have a measuring cup at home even, and you know that if you can get 1 cup of spaghetti squash or cauliflower rice or whatever it is in there, that counts as 1 green. So it doesn't have to be a Beachbody recipe. Like I said, just kind of use your common sense, right? Like if it's a recipe that has cheese, then sub it out or even leave the cheese out. The other thing that I really recommend, and I suggested to everyone that did the first round, don't go spending all of your money on all of these like dairy alternatives and gluten-free alternatives, because you guys, that stuff is processed, right? And the whole plan here, what Autumn's trying to encourage us to do, is to eat closer to the earth. So if you're not having dairy, don't go out today and spend like $30 on non-dairy cheese, because really at the end of the day, you can simply eliminate the cheese out of the recipe or find another alternative that's closer to the earth. Something like nutritional yeast is a great substitute that a lot of people use. But I would recommend really keeping it low. She also says that the big part of one of the 6 things that we're eliminating is the processed soy. So don't head into the grocery store and go to the vegan section and buy up all of like the fake meat and all of that stuff, because that's overly processed soy. And if you've ever heard of like an unhealthy vegan or an unhealthy vegetarian, it's because there are these people that are eating and consuming all of this processed stuff that has a lot of additives and stuff that's not going to be good for our gut. So try to eat as close to the earth as you can. So things like tofu are okay, and tempeh, that kind of soy is okay because it's not as processed. But that's my biggest suggestion to you. Things that you will be trying are like the fermented foods, which again, don't go out and buy 5 different options of fermented food. Like, keep it chill. If you already like sauerkraut, awesome. Then you know that that can be your go-to. Like I shared in the chat about the kombucha, just be careful about the sugar intake, right? So there is that brand that I shared with you. It's called Rise. It has 1 gram of sugar. So be mindful and read the labels of stuff too. Keep it simple. That's the best advice I can give you. Don't plan 5 different brand new recipes to eat this week. Don't, because Wednesday is going to come around and you are going to be like, F this. I don't have time for this. The dog just puked and the kids got to go to hockey and I'm not making tempeh bacon right now. Like, don't try to take on a whole ton of new things right now. Find 2 new recipes to have this week, 2, and then account for leftovers that you can have the next day, or account for a simple meal. There were so many times during this program that I simply cut a spaghetti squash in half, stuck it in the oven, and then had a jar of pasta sauce. Not gonna lie, because sometimes Thursday night rolls around and I can't put much more effort into it. But I was able to avoid eating the actual carbs and the pasta and all that stuff too. So keep it simple, but do find a couple new things that you can try this week. Okay. For the point of keeping it simple, I also recommend if you can keep similar meals for like your breakfast and lunch and snacks as similar as possible, and then maybe mix up your dinners. Kat, I'm going to kind of single you out because you crushed the first round of Gut Protocol, and Kat was really good. If you guys saw in our roll call, she would share pictures of her daily food. And what I really liked was that I saw a lot of repetition, but in a good way, in a way that it made me realize like, okay, she's not scrambling to figure out what she's eating every single day, because it seems like she's eating similar snacks every day and like kind of similar lunches and stuff. So if you can kind of keep it relatively simple and like repetitive, at least for the first week, that's definitely going to help you get some success under your belt. Okay. Also, if you have any questions as we go through, please don't hesitate to unmute yourself or put it in the chat. Okay. I am going to walk you guys through the programs, but I'll do that at the end here. The other thing that I would recommend is journaling during this. Even if that's not a habit of yours, get a notebook and even just write down, maybe have it beside your bed and jot down at the end of the day how you're feeling, maybe what some of your wins were, maybe what some of your challenges were, and keep a log, because that's what's going to help you understand the certain things that are serving you and aren't serving you. Like during this journey, I discovered that broccoli is not my friend. And I used to eat a lot of broccoli, but my gas was like over the top, not okay. And so it was me being mindful, which I'm not usually a very mindful person of my body and how I feel, but me being mindful of that and jotting that down helped me to eliminate it. One of my friends, one of my coach friends discovered that chickpeas are not her friend, which she said she would have never realized how much chickpeas bothered her, but she was paying attention to how she felt after each meal and then logging at the end of the day, and it really helped. Oh, balsamic vinegar. I feel like I would count that as an orange personally. But I would never probably do a full orange of it, Kristen. I'd probably do like half of an orange. So like 1 tablespoon, I would say. But I'll look into that too and see if I can find that for you. The other thing I really want to encourage you to do that you're not going to be happy about, probably, if you're anything like me, is to take your pictures. Even if, I know, even if weight loss isn't your goal, take your pictures. Take pictures of your face and take full body pictures, preferably showing your stomach. So you don't have to share them with anyone. I'm not asking you to share them in the group. I'm not asking you to share them. You can keep them in a private little folder on your phone, but do it for you, because this is 4 weeks, you guys. And the difference that you will see in your body composition or in your skin is going to be incredible. And you're going to want to see those pictures. And I can't tell you how many women I've coached that have gone through a program and then they say, damn, I really wish I took the pictures, because the scale does not tell the whole story either. So if you are looking to lose weight, the scale isn't necessarily going to show you all of your progress, but your pictures really will. So take pictures. I actually did mine today of my psoriasis. If you guys see on IG today, I shared a story about my psoriasis. It was really bad, really flared up. So I took some really good pictures in bright light of my psoriasis, no makeup. And I plan on keeping track of that and taking pictures again next week and the following week and seeing if I can kind of pinpoint what it is. It's almost like a fun experiment, but take the pictures, get someone else to take them for you if you can. If not, there's a video I can send you to with some tips on how to do it, but I highly recommend. So some of the struggles that you're gonna go through. I'm not gonna lie, this program is not easy. And Kat, I don't want to put you on the spot, but since you've done this, if you feel like chiming in at any time, please feel free. For me personally, I found that I really struggled with gas in the beginning. A lot of women struggled with gas in the beginning. And I do think that it had to do with the consumption of vegetables, because I went from eating maybe 2-3 servings of vegetables a day to eating 6. So for my body, it was a lot. And Autumn says that. She says that to be prepared, that you will probably experience a lot of gas. So just know that. My advice for you would be to stay the course for at least the first 2 weeks. Try to pay attention to the foods that you're eating, try to mix it up. So if you notice that, like I also noticed cabbage, right? I was eating a lot of cabbage each day. So the more that, like, if I was noticing that and I looked up what were certain vegetables that cause gas, so things like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts too. Like I did a roasted thing one time where I did broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. And you guys, I was dying the next day. Like it was awful. So then I decided that I would try one of them at a time and see which one was kind of the culprit. And that's kind of how I discovered the broccoli. So you will probably experience gas. You will probably you might experience a little bit of a lull when we're coming down off the caffeine intake too. If you are a big coffee drinker, if you drink a lot of coffee, if you have a lot of caffeine, Shelly's like, ooh, then please make sure that you are mindful of increasing your water and being mindful of that as well. Oh yeah, Kat, really good point there. So she said that she did Autumn's recommendation of cooking all the veggies for the first week. Absolutely. So for this first week, thank you for that reminder. You're going to be eating all of your veggies cooked, because it really helps to aid in your digestion better than eating raw veggies. Raw veggies are a lot trickier to digest. Please make sure too that you're watching the videos. So we have a video to watch today, getting us ready for week 1. And then there's a video each week as we go through. And then she's going to teach us how to reintroduce food so that we are able to maintain some of the success that we've seen. So, oh my gosh, that's amazing, Nat. She went from 30 ounce of coffee to no more coffee and drinking matcha every day. That's incredible. That's a big win. And that's it too, right? There's different ideas. I really had to get real with myself during this. I found like this program for me had a lot of internal realizations. Like I was mindlessly drinking a lot of coffee throughout the week for no reason beyond the fact that it was just a habit. So ask yourself too, that if you do consider yourself a big coffee drinker, is it the coffee or is it the habit? And if it's the habit, then that's okay. A habit can be replaced with another habit. And usually that's the way to fix it, right? We don't want to just eliminate it, because then we're left with this blank space in our life where we're used to having that warm mug. No, fill that mug up with something else. Try matcha, try some herbal teas that Autumn recommends. Maybe even it's going to be like a warm cup with lemon or something, but find a way to replace that habit with something else too. If you're a pop drinker, obviously you won't be drinking any pop on this. So replacing it with sparkling water. She does recommend that you only have, I think, 2 or 3 sparkling waters a week, which for me was hard because I rely on my sparkling water to get me through the evening. But I replaced it with flat water and I added lemon and lime to it and make it feel kind of like a treat, right? So find ways to take what that habit is that you have and just replace it with something else. Okay, so I want to show you guys, the other thing too, with regards to being prepared, and I hope to do another call. We won't do one next week because I don't want to take up all your Sundays, but the following week. So we'll do a midway call. Okay, so 2 weeks from now, we'll do another call together. I want you to be really mindful of when you know that you're going to have something coming up, that maybe you're a little nervous about. Maybe it's a dinner out with friends, maybe it's a party at someone's house, maybe it's a dinner party or something. If you're feeling anxious about what you're going to eat or what you're going to do, that is your time to lean into the community, into our chat. Lean into us and let's talk about it. Me personally, if I knew that I was going to dinner somewhere, like at someone's house, I would plan ahead to eat a bit before I go, first of all, so that I'm not super hungry when I'm there. And second, to bring something that is vegan, dairy-free, and gluten-free that I can eat that everyone else can enjoy as well. I would probably bring like some kind of a salad that maybe has protein in it. So plan ahead for stuff. If you're going to a restaurant, one of the suggestions that we learned during our group, the first group, was to ask for the allergy menu at the restaurant. So if you can't look it up in advance, when you get to the restaurant, ask the server to see the allergy menu, because the allergy menu is going to list all of the stuff that's in each dish. So that will let you know if the dish has gluten, if it has any dairy, if it has the things that you're trying to avoid. Also, obviously, looking up the menu in advance if you can on the website is a great tip too. So I'm going to share my screen and hopefully you guys can see this. Okay, can you guys see that? My bod page? Awesome, thank you. Okay, so if you haven't done this yet, that's okay. That's what today's for. This is why I wanted to jump on with you guys today. So in your programs, you should have your gut protocol. And remember too, in the Rise community under files, there are a ton of meal planning templates that you can print off too, okay? So in here, this is where you're going to have all of your stuff. You guys paid for this. So I really want to make sure that you get your money's worth. Take advantage of everything that's here for you, okay? So here's the program guide that you can download if you want, or you can go through it. Here's the lessons. So you've got your lessons here to read. So hopefully you guys did this during prep week, which I'm sure you did. And then you've got your weekly focus videos. So your homework for today is to watch this first one, week 1. Okay. Then next Sunday, as you're getting ready for week 2, read the next one. Or not read it, watch it. They're really quick, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, like really, really easy to get through, but it will motivate you and give you that education that'll help you back up your goals. There are some recipe videos. I'm not going to go through that, but over here, if you click on meal plans and recipes, so these are all of the different like Fixate recipes that are approved. So if you go on Pinterest and you find a bunch of Fixate recipes, or if you're looking through the Fixate PDF in on demand, these are all the ones that are also approved for Gut Protocol. There's also this one, if you didn't know, these recipes. I did this one, the cauliflower grits with seared mushroom. It was really good. But you can go through here and see, but as you can see, there's not a ton, right? Like not enough recipes to get you through 4 weeks. So just be mindful of that, like I said, Pinterest and Googling, like literally Googling gut protocol recipes or gut protocol lunch recipes, gut protocol breakfast recipes. Like Google is your friend. Luckily, Beachbody is a multi-billion-dollar company, and we have hundreds of thousands of people that do these programs and some incredible people that are much better at meal planning than me. So let's use them to our advantage. So like I said, that Confessions of a Fit Foodie girl is incredible. But yeah, I would highly recommend finding some stuff and find some stuff that you like and stick with it. Me personally, these banana blueberry overnight oats were like perfect for me in the morning. I didn't know how I was going to do the morning without my Greek yogurt, but you guys, I would do 3 of these at a time, and it would take me, I don't know, 15 minutes. By the time I got out the 3 jars, I got out all the stuff, threw it all together, and then 3 mornings, so Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I had grab and go breakfast, which was great. And then Wednesday night, I would make 3 more. So plan in advance as much as you can. I think that's the biggest thing that I could stress to you, is that the amount of preparation that you give yourself is going to really dictate the amount of success that you're going to have in this program. So yeah, so I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything that you want to ask or add. You can take yourself off mute.
I will add something, and that is I'm not a planner in terms of my meals. Like I find sometimes I'll do like a dinner or something here or there, but Autumn was saying how she does like she just buys a ton of groceries and she'll go like by the seat of her pants kind of thing. And I find that that works best for me in terms of like I do have my regular breakfasts or lunches that I do, but then at the end of the day, I just look. For me, I make like this sort of checklist thing, and so through the day, I'm like, okay, I had two veggies with breakfast, one fruit, etc. And then at the end of the day, I see, okay, I have two veggies left, I have protein left, I have this and that, and I just make a dinner out of it. So I find just if there's anyone else that doesn't plan well in terms of like having their whole meals and everything planned in advance, I find that that's kind of a good way if you're more of a by the seat of your pants, but still being on plan. Because I know that planning is really good for some, but I mean, we're all different. So in case that helps anyone.
I appreciate that, Kat. And I am definitely not a mega planner either. So I appreciate that. On that note, and then Nat, I'll get you to share too. On that note, there is an app, you guys, and you can do this. People have told me that you can do this in bod groups. I'm not exactly, I got to figure it out. But for me personally, see this app called the 21 Day Fix. If you want to download this app, I'll show you. So we're not doing 21 Day Fix, and I know that. But if you go to the tracker, and I just put in that I'm doing 21 Day Fix. If you go to the tracker and you click on this, it's similar to what Kat had written out on her plan. So you can alter this too, but this is like plan A, for example. And then as you go through your meals, so for breakfast, you have like a protein and a fruit, and it will start to eliminate. So like what Kat said, so it's like an electronic version of that. So I absolutely love that, writing it down too, or keeping it in your notes section or something on your phone. But if you want to get this app too, there's so many times that I have been in that situation where it's like 4:30 and I'm like, okay, for dinner, I have to have like a red, a yellow, and a green. So that's great. Thanks so much for sharing that, Kat. Kirsten, as for the supplements, the probiotic, you're going to take once a day. So I just take it in the morning. And then the digestive enzymes, depending on the ones that you get, but I think for the most part, you take them with each meal. So I think it was up to, I forget how many, it depends on you'll have to read the bottle. But for me, I took digestive enzymes, like at least I took like 6 pills a day. So 2 with each meal. So make sure that you read the bottle, but for the most part, it's probiotic once a day. And then the digestive enzymes with each meal. Yeah. Nat, did you have something you want to share?
Yeah, so I was gonna say I'm kind of like Kat. I kind of like just for supper, I plan breakfast and lunch, and it's like it's the same every day, and I love that. And snacks, but then for supper, I like to just check off whatever I have left in my for my containers. The problem is I'm not the only one eating, so then I feel like if I don't have anything go too quick, so it's kind of like I'm the last one on the list. It's like make sure everybody has the supper, and then I kind of like pull something quick, and then I start getting bored because I'm like, okay, well, I just had miracle noodles and the potatoes and the meat, or we're only supposed to have one serving of red meat. So I'm like, okay, well, I forgot to plan for the turkey burger, so I'm just gonna have red meat again. Oh well, okay, so now I'm up to 3 red meats for the week. Oh well, I fell off, so I'll start again Monday. So I find that's the challenge. I wish I could just kind of like worry about myself for 4 weeks. So I'm like, I feel like this time I need to plan for it all and make sure that it's become, it's the evening is the worst part, and then the working out after. I'm like, okay, it's almost like I have to block the evening for myself, which doesn't make sense. And so I really have to manage the evenings. And I think Kirsten's going to be there to kind of keep me in line. I'm going to have to, work out at 8 o'clock and, send her a message and say, okay, I did it. And I think I just don't want to feel like I'm upset with myself by supper time, because I know that I'm going to go downhill. So I think having that accountability is like, okay, just get it done. That night you can fill in with these little blocks of making your meals and working out. So anyway, I know it's going to work out better with Kirsten. So I'm like, thank you.
Honestly, Nat, I appreciate your honesty. And like, I'm the same way. I'm not going to lie, it takes a bit of a shift within the household and within how you choose to prioritize you during this time. And maybe that takes like a conversation today with your partner or with your family to be like, look, I'm starting this program. It's for me. This is something that I really want to do. Like, I know for me, when I started Beachbody, I had a 4-month-old and a 4-year-old. And I would say to my husband, like, sorry, but I'm taking an hour downstairs to do this workout. At the time, it was an hour-long workout, which is crazy. But it wasn't easy in the beginning, and I definitely felt guilty. But I would recommend like having that conversation and then, sorry, F the mom guilt, because if your cup isn't full at the end of the day, then everyone suffers. And we kind of need to get past this idea that we can't ever take any time for us. Because when that happens, that's what leads to burnout. And you taking this time to pour into your health and wellness, it's not like you're asking for an hour each evening to go to the bar, right? You're asking like for time to do a workout and for time to make a meal. So the other thing, sorry, the other thing I would suggest is for dinners are definitely hard and they're definitely a struggle. And I think everyone would agree with that. Honestly, if you can, and I would recommend again, take some time, be disciplined to take a stand, to put in some action to try to pre-plan your meals as best you can. And even if that means like you planning something for the family and you're going to have like kind of a version of it or whatever. But honestly, that's why I wanted to have this call today, because when you can plan right now on like a Sunday before it gets into the crazy hectic week, that's when you're going to be setting yourself up for success. So even if it's just, and like write out like Monday through even Thursday, or even just 3 days, like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and stick it on the wall in the kitchen so that everyone sees what's there. And so that you know, you don't have to worry about what that meal is going to be. But I do recommend you being a little selfish and taking some of this time for you as best you can. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that too. Kat, trying to keep as many foods as possible similar. Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do too often. Oh, I love that. Look at Kirsten's. Perfect. Yeah. And then you just don't have to worry about it. Like, my God, we have so many things to think about during the week. Like, the last thing we need to be worrying about on a Thursday at 4:30 is what we're going to feed the family. Right. So set yourself up now and try to plan it as much as you can. Sabrina, sorry. Thanks for waiting.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that in the Beachbody On Demand app, they're in the tracking. There's also the portion fix containers, and you can set however many, because like I need 6 containers, so for veggies, so you can actually set that in there in the tracking on the actual Beachbody On Demand app, because I don't know why, but I can never find the 21-day fix app on my phone. So I just thought I'd mention that as if anyone was interested in checking that out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I never use the Beachbody On Demand app on my phone. So everyone always says that. They're like, Jen, you know, it's in the app. And I'm like, I don't use the app. I do everything through my computer. So thank you very much for that. Yeah, there are a ton of resources that we have. And you guys, I think the biggest thing that I want to stress to you is the fact that you are not doing a random program off YouTube like so many people do, right? When they try to do something by themselves on their own. The beauty of doing Beachbody, the beauty of the fact that we have come together as a group is that we're in this together. So let's lean in. Let's help each other as much as we can. If you have wins, please shout them from the rooftop and share them in our group and celebrate you, because that's the other thing we don't do enough as women is we don't celebrate ourselves enough. Not to generalize, but I kind of have to. And so celebrate your wins with us, share any wins that you have, and please don't get quiet when things get hard, when you struggle. If you fall off, great. We probably all will. We should almost have a challenge to see who falls off first, because I feel like it'll be me by like Tuesday at 2:00. But like, that's why we're in this together. Lean into your accountability partner and stay true to that why. Keep that why front of mind, and don't you dare feel guilty about taking time for you and putting yourself first, because you are freaking worth it. So I am so incredibly, does anyone have any more questions? I don't want to keep you guys much longer.
Well, I was just wondering, Jen, if anybody made the gluten-free bread, and it wasn't from Fixate, it's from 4-Week Gut Protocol, or if you just buy a gluten-free bread, because I'm wondering if it's worth the time to make the gluten-free bread. Like, I mean, I don't want to add too many projects to my list, but yeah.
I didn't make it, Kat. Did you make it? You were nodding. Yeah.
Yes, I did make it. I think Autumn said something, and I think Jen was mentioning this too, that like the gluten-free breads have certain different, I don't know if it's additives, but they have certain things added to it that maybe aren't as clean as the Fixate one. I made it. I found like don't expect regular bread. I eat gluten-free like even before this program. So to me, it was good. I just put a little bit of coconut oil on it and like whatever else I'm making for my sandwich or toast or something. It takes a bit of time, so I'm not sure, like, I guess you'd have to weigh if the additives of just buying a gluten-free bread is just fine, because I used to eat that before. And I guess maybe if you're going to go that route, just see how that makes you feel, if there's anything in that that's bothering your stomach, or if not, then it could be a good alternative rather than having to bake.
Yeah, I know some women in the coach group made it, and a couple of them, my friend Sarah had to make it like 3 different times because she kept messing up the recipe somehow and it wouldn't rise or whatever. But I did find one from Whole Foods that was pretty good. It did have tapioca starch in it. So some people were kind of commenting that the tapioca starch wasn't great. However, I did find that because I was eliminating eating even just like pre-made processed stuff, I barely ate, like I kept the loaf in the freezer and I barely ate 1 loaf in 4 weeks. So keep that in mind too, that like if you don't have the time and energy, maybe buy a loaf and keep it in the freezer for like when you desperately want a piece of toast kind of thing. And the little bit of tapioca starch that's in there probably won't kill your success, I'm sure. All right, guys, any other questions before we go? Amazing. Shelly, you're such a freaking cheerleader, girl. You're my favorite. She's like, we got this. We do. We've got this. And you know what, you guys, the best piece of advice I can give you is to believe that you can do this. Believe that you are worthy of this. Believe that you deserve to see what you can do when you actually put your heart and soul into something. It's 4 weeks in the grand scheme of things, and this could answer so many questions for you. So I am here for you. Your accountability partner is here for you. Please lean in. Don't be quiet. Don't be shy. No dumb questions. And I can't wait to cheer you guys on as we do this. And we'll meet in 2 weeks. So whatever that is, I'll send you the link. It's May. So May 8th? No, May 15th. May 15th. We'll have a call together again. Okay. All right, guys. Take care.